Good morning. It's Wednesday the 5th of March and I'm down on the allotment. Why am I down here in the middle of the week? Well, essentially I've got some leave to use up before the end of March, and I've got this week and next week off as leave. So as the weather has improved a little bit, it hasn't rained really hard since the weekend, and last week was quite dry. I thought I'd come down and see whether I could dig the last bit of my plot. Essentially I've already dug back before Christmas the far end bed, the bulk of this bed. I've got this little bit here to do as well, but this bed I hadn't touched, didn't have time before it started raining, and although I could have covered it and done it a bit at a time, I didn't, basically because there were a few things still growing in it, and I didn't want to kind of either work around them, which would have just left for bits of dug and bits undug. I thought I'll leave it and I'll do it in the new year before I need to plant it. So that's what I'm doing today. Already starting to. It's still quite wet, but it is diggable just. So it's quite hard going. I don't know how long that bit's taken me. Probably not as long as it feels. I guess I've had sort of 2 or 3 months where I haven't really been down here at all, so I haven't been doing any physical work as such. I'm feeling it a bit in my bones, so I'll do as much as I feel able or is sensible, and then call it a day. I have after all got a couple of weeks to do it, but I did feel slightly guilty having had time off and not having been down here for so long, that maybe I ought to get my arse down here and do some digging. Garlic here, I don't know whether you can see that, might need to zoom in. There's 2 rows. There's elephant garlic there and regular hardneck garlic there. Needs a jolly good weed. It's about the only thing I've had in growing over the winter months, other than leeks down the far end. Let's wander down there so you can see what I'm talking about. There's my leeks. There we go, they're looking quite healthy. Could pull a few of those today. And Brussels sprouts and some parsnips. After the last couple of years I've not really put any overwintering produce in, mainly because I found that either, as we've had this winter, it's rained so hard that everything's just either got washed out of the ground or rotted because it's been so wet, or we've had really heavy snow for 2 or 3 weeks and everything's just frozen solid and died. So I've given up kind of doing that, other than the things like garlic, which really does need the cold weather to germinate. I haven't put broad beans in, for example, which I would normally, or onions. Just kind of don't really want to put stuff in and lose it. It's kind of a bit of a false economy and a waste of my money. However, I have got broad beans and shallots to go in, and I think if the weather keeps up and we keep that bit of blue sky that you can see there, I will probably get them in, maybe even this weekend, depending on what the weather does between now and then. So that's why I'm on the plot in the middle of the week. It's quite quiet, there's nobody else really down here. I think there's one other person that I can see. So yeah, midweek allotment video. Hope you're having a good midweek wherever you are, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care now, bye bye.